Deep in the heart of Vermont, there's a place that holds dark secrets. A place where people vanish without a trace, never to be seen again. A place known as the Bennington Triangle. Between 1945 and 1950, 5 people disappeared in the same area, leaving behind no clues, no bodies, and endless questions. The Bennington Triangle is not an official name, but a term coined by New England author Joseph A. Citro to describe the eerie area centered around Glastonbury Mountain, a now abandoned town. But long before these modern disappearances, the area was already considered strange by Native Americans, who avoided the mountain, believing it was cursed. Even the wildlife seemed to avoid it. But what made this place so feared? And why did people start disappearing, suddenly and without a trace? November 12, 1945. Mitty Rivers, a 74-year-old experienced hunter, was leading a group through the mountains. He knew every trail, every creek, every tree. As they were heading back, Rivers got slightly ahead of the group, and that's the last anyone ever saw of him. Search teams scoured the area for weeks. Hundreds of volunteers, police, even soldiers joined in. But they found nothing, except a single rifle cartridge near a stream. No tracks, no signs of struggle, nothing. Mitty Rivers had vanished into thin air. Just a year later, on December 1st, 1946, Paula Weldon, an 18-year-old Bennington college student, decided to go for a hike along the long trail. She told her roommate she'd be back that evening. Witnesses saw her walking along the trail, then she too disappeared. Paula was young, energetic, and healthy. A large-scale search was launched, similar to Rivers' case. Bloodhounds, helicopters, volunteers from all over the state, but not a single trace of Paula Weldon was ever found. Paula was young, energetic, and healthy. A large-scale search was launched, similar to Rivers' case. Bloodhounds, helicopters, volunteers from all over the state, but not a single trace of Paula Weldon was ever found. Some believed she had run away, but her family insisted she had no reason to. The only clue was a strange report from a passing truck driver who claimed to have seen a young woman fitting Paula's description in a distressed state, walking along the road, but the lead never went anywhere. It was as if the forest had swallowed her whole. 3 years later, on December 1st, 1949, the exact same date as Paula Weldon's disappearance, another person would vanish. But this time, the circumstances were even stranger. James Tedford, a war veteran, boarded a bus heading back to Bennington from a visit with family. Passengers remembered seeing him asleep in his seat. But when the bus arrived at its destination, Tedford was gone. His luggage was still in the overhead compartment. His ticket was still on his seat. But James Tedford had vanished, disappeared from a moving bus without anyone noticing. How does someone just disappear in the middle of a trip? October 12, 1950. Paul Jepson, an 8-year-old boy, was with his mother at a local farm near the Bennington Triangle. She left him alone in the truck for just a few minutes. When she returned, Paul was gone. Search parties were quickly formed, but like the others, no trace of Paul was found. The strangest part? For days leading up to his disappearance, Paul had been talking non-stop about going to the mountains. Was he drawn to something, calling him from the forest? Just 2 weeks after Paul Jepson disappeared, 53-year-old Frida Langer went missing. While hiking with her cousin near Somerset Reservoir, she slipped and fell into a stream. She told her cousin she was going back to camp to change clothes, but she never made it. Like the others, a massive search was conducted. But it wasn't until 6 months later that her body was discovered in an area that had been thoroughly searched before. How could Frida's body have gone unnoticed for so long? And even stranger, there was no cause of death, no signs of foul play, nothing to explain how she had died. So what's going on in the Bennington Triangle? Is it just coincidence that 5 people vanished in a span of 5 years? Or is there something more sinister at play? Some speculate that the area may be a hotspot for UFO activity. Others believe it could be a serial killer who's been able to hide undetected in the remote wilderness. Then there's the supernatural theory that the Bennington Triangle is a place where the laws of time and space don't apply, a window area where people can vanish into other dimensions. But perhaps the most unsettling theory is that the land itself is cursed. Native Americans long avoided the mountain, believing that something evil lived there, a force that took people who ventured too far into the forest. Are these disappearances the work of something far older and more terrifying than we can comprehend? The Bennington Triangle remains one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in American history. No answers, no closure, just lingering questions. The forests of Vermont still hold their secrets, and as the years go by, the stories of those who vanished become part of the land's dark legacy. Perhaps, somewhere deep in those woods, the truth still waits to be discovered. But the forest, it doesn't give up its secrets easily. What do you think is behind the strange disappearances of the Bennington Triangle? Are they coincidences, or is something darker at work? Leave a comment below and let us know your theory. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more unsolved mysteries from around the world. But remember, some mysteries are better left unsolved.